Hey Cool Crafters! How are you coming along with your Thanksgiving plans? I know, I just had to mention it. There's not much time left, but there is time to put together a quick and easy tablescape idea. The inspiration for this project is from Professor Pincushion. She has stitched together this easy table runner, which is perfect for your fall decor or a rustic looking tablescape. Using burlap, lace, and ribbon, you can quickly put together a simple yet elegant look to impress your guests. When I saw this table runner, I knew right away that what I wanted to create to highlight in my tablescape display was the Vintage Aleene's burlap loop flowers. Now these look complicated, but they're really easy to create. Let's get started. The first step in creating your burlap flowers is to work with burlap by the yard. You're going to want to mark your sections of burlap depending on what size flowers that you want to create. And to mark your sections, you are going to pull a thread from the burlap. And let me show you how to do that. On this marking, I'm going to make a smaller flower. So I'm going to mark this at about 3 inches, and that's going to tell me where I want to cut the edge in order to grab that one strand of burlap. That's one thread that runs all the way across. So you just pull it out, just like that. What you do next is you take your tacky glue and you apply it along both sides of where you have just removed that piece of burlap, that one strand of burlap. You want your glue to cover about 2 rows of burlap. You want to secure 2 strands of burlap along the edge. This is going to keep that burlap from unraveling. All of my glue has dried completely, and the piece that I'm working on will have 3 different flowers. I like to keep this all together at this step. We'll be cutting it apart in just a moment, but I like to keep it together because it's much easier when you start pulling out these strands to hold everything together. So working from the side, I am just grabbing one strand at a time and pulling. This is what your piece will look like after you have taken out the extra threads. Now you're ready to cut these apart right down the middle between where you glued the edges. It's really easy to start putting these flowers together. Apply a line of tacky glue along one edge. Fold the other edge over and into the line of glue and just press it to hold it in place. Next, apply another line of glue along the edge. If you want to put your flowers onto any sort of stem, you would insert that as you start to roll. You could use a skewer, a wooden skewer, or a piece of wire, or you can make these flowers without having any sort of stem, which is the way that I use them when I put them onto the topiary tree. So I have the skewer just rolled right in the center. And be sure that you leave this flat on your work surface and press firmly when you are rolling, and try and keep this edge right here lined up. So once that entire piece is rolled, you can leave it in a bud shape, or you can place it face down on your work surface and give it a good press, and then that opens up your flower. You can arrange these little loops, but you can see it naturally goes into a really beautiful pattern. Set this aside to dry completely. For the flowers that I'm using on my topiary tree, I am accenting the centers with pearl stickers. So now that you've created your burlap looped flowers, how do you use them? The base for my topiary I actually found at the thrift store. The flowers were a bit dusty and are quite vintage looking, but it works perfect for this project to fit the decor that I want for my Thanksgiving arrangement. So I pulled some of the flowers out, and all I need to do is just tuck in my looped flowers. If you want to, you can glue these in place, but I think these will actually hold in place just perfectly by wedging them in between these roses. Mirrors are also a great way to add interest to your tablescaping. Just lay them down on your tabletop. You can put a votive candle on top or a little rustic vase. And I have a lot of these white roses in my garden right now. And so that is also going to tie in with the theme with the softness of the lace in the table runner. I have spray painted some of my orange pumpkins with white spray paint so that they would soften the color to tie in with the theme. And a lot of these other pieces I picked out of the garden. Some of these decorated natural balls I've had in my home decor stash, so I just pulled them out to use them for different occasions. A gold charger plate is beautiful to set everything on, and you can also use napkin rings and your electronic lights to add some brightness to your tablescaping. One last idea for you. Take a framed mirror or a frame with glass, cover the inside with chalkboard paper, and write a special greeting giving thanks. I want to invite you to check out Professor Pincushion's YouTube channel. Just click on this link. Subscribers can learn sewing fundamentals and concepts, and they also offer fun sewing projects with downloadable patterns. They focus on teaching beginners how to sew or veteran sewers who just need a refresher. I'm Tiffany Windsor, and I think it's cool to craft.